So let me tell you a story. In terms of competing with heart, preparing for heart, to play with heart, and perform with heart, right? Again, don't think this as being hard. Think of the right brain. You have left brain, right brain. Right brain, left brain, very analytical, you know, precise and all of that. And the right brain is more creative, and it's also more open, receptive, and willing to go places that the left brain is not willing to go. And so what we have here is a story about warriors. And this is a true story. What happens is we have these tribes, the Native American tribes in Arizona, southwestern and southeastern Arizona. And what they do is, if you want to be a warrior, what you have to do is you have to go to the Council of Chiefs. You go to the chiefs and you say to them, Chief, I want to have the test. I want to take the test. And the test is a warrior test. And so the test requires you to go out running until you catch a deer. And you catch the deer, and you sling the deer over your back, and you take it back to the camp, and what you do is you feed the tribe. And then you're crowned a warrior. Now, 4 people show up the morning of the test, and they go out for a run. There are no deer, but they're going out running, and they're going to chase deer, they're going to look for deer and find them, okay? So they go out to the desert, and then they go into the mountains, and as they get into the mountains and start going up on the trails, they're out there for 3 hours, and one of the so-called people who say that they're a warrior, one of the braves, says, you know what, this is ridiculous. My calf is hurting like crazy. I got this calf pain. You know, I need some, what do you call it, tape on it? Kinesio tape on it. Do you have any kinesio? No, I have no kinesio tape. Well, 3 hours, I'm done. I can't go any further, so he drops out. And they keep running and keep going, and they keep searching for the deer. After another 3 hours, the next brave says, you know what? I'm exhausted. I've been running for 6 hours. I can't do this. So he drops out. And the next time this happens is 3 hours later, 3.5 hours later, and they go out, and this guy says, you know what? This is crazy. I don't believe we can do this. I don't believe it's possible. There's no way. Go ahead, you're crazy. You just, you know. So he drops out of the lack of belief, and the other one continues. And he continues for another 3 hours. He's into 12 hours of running. And he finally sees the deer. And he starts going after them. And at one point, the deer gets so tired and so exhausted, and this is what happens to deer. This is also true. I know this for a fact, having chased deer myself in Colorado, and that's a fact too. You know, I've done that, which is really quite an exhilarating experience. But I won't tell you that story tonight. So what happens is you go out after this deer, and the deer gets tired, and it lays down. So this guy, this brave, goes over to the deer and gets down on his knees like this and offers this deer up to the gods. And then he proceeds to thank the gods and then sacrifices this deer and takes the deer back on his shoulder all the way back to the camp. All right, so he gets back to the camp, and they're all celebrating this amazing warrior. And the Council of Chiefs bless him as the new warrior, and he takes charge of all these others who were wanting to become warriors, and he really did it. Well, what happened there was this. He demonstrated all of the traits, all of the characteristics of warriorship, what warriors were all about. Right? He was brave. He believed in himself. He believed in himself. And of course, our opponent's greatest advantage, as you might or might not know, is your lack of belief in yourself. But he believed in himself. He respected the situation. He respected the animal. He respected his partners. He had a great deal of integrity. He said he was going to go out and do this to the council chief. And he did it. So is that narrowing a gap between what he says and what he does. The others had very little integrity, as you can see. Right? He trusted the process. He believed in the system. He knew that it would work, but he had to stay with it. He had to have courage. He had to have commitment. He had to have patience. He had perseverance. He had persistence. He was willing to suffer. He sacrificed. All of these are wonderful, amazing warrior virtues, virtues of the heart, competing with heart, and he had it all. Now, how many of you, show me your hand if you think that it would be kind of cool if you could have these warrior virtues within you in relationship to your life at this particular point in time. Raise your hand if you think that this would be something that would be worth having. Let's see. Okay. All of us, just about, right? Now, show of hands, how many of you know exactly how to do this? Okay, nobody. That's why I'm here. This is my job. This is what I do. No, seriously. This is what I love. This is me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down that road with you. And I'm going to... Basically what I want to say is you need to know what I know if that's what you want for yourself. Now, there are many ways to go here. But I'm going to start with this. In order to even begin to consider you competing and living, I'm talking Friday night, guys and girls. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The weekend comes, right? Still living that life. Not just on the lacrosse field or on the basketball court or in the swimming pool or on the tennis court. It's a whole life situation. You can't be living a life of truth over here and living a life of lack of integrity over here. You can't be living a life of fighting and battling and competing like a true warrior and one who has heart, and then over here, when the weekend comes, you sort of lose it because it's party time, But there's a delicate balance. There's a delicate balance, and I'll talk about that. That's important as well. Okay, so there are all people who compete with heart have 3 talents. There's 3 talents that are necessary, that are prerequisites to compete with heart. The first talent is physical talent. Physical talent. Now, you know this, I know this, but we need to say it anyway, and that is everybody in the conference. Everyone in the conference. Let's stick with the conference. Everyone has physical talent. Different degrees, varying degrees, but everybody has physical talent. In fact, if you take the other 2 talents out of the equation, everybody's going to be practically equal, which would make for a very interesting conference. But it's not that way. Things aren't equal because there's 2 other talents. So 100% of the people have physical talent. The other talent is mental talent. And of all the people in the conference, I'm going to give you a statistic that might or might not be spot on, but it's pretty close. I'm going to say 40% of the athletes in the conference have not only the physical talent, but they have the mental talent to go along with it. So they're mentally strong. So on any given day, they seem to do pretty well. They might win a lot of the games because mentally they're tougher and they're stronger. You see where I'm going with that? Okay? So, but that said, and I come in there too. I'll enter that arena of mental toughness, and I can train and I can coach and I can bring you to that place. I can coach mental mechanics, and I've been doing it for 35 years. But the third talent is really where I reside, where I'd like you to think about residing, not only in sport but in all of life, and that is the spiritual talent. And my estimate is about 2% of the athletes that you play against will have spiritual talent. To compete with heart, you need all 3. But there's no one training the spiritual piece. And by spirituality, I don't mean religion. What I mean is the warrior that we talked about with the Native American. We talked about having the courage and the commitment and the bravery and the integrity and the trust and the respect and all of that. You see, that's what I'm talking about with spirituality. And you know what? It's not innate. It's not something that you're born with. You're not born with this. What it is something that's developed over time. You learn it. It's trainable. In the science of plasticity, what happens is we learn that of neuroplasticity, what we learn is that all these things can be learned. And therefore, someone's got to teach them. So I raised my hand. I'll do it. It's me. Well, here I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed now to give you what I consider the 7, right? The 7 special, essential absolutes of spiritual battling, spiritual fighting, the whole concept of putting together body, mind, spirit. In Japanese, we call it satori. And in satori, it means all the 3 coming together simultaneously. But they will never come together unless you train them. All right? So the 7 The 7 are these. I'll start, and then we'll open up a discussion if you so care. But the first one of these special characteristics is influence. Now, I had a meeting with your coaching staff yesterday, which was just phenomenal. I loved being with your coaches, which is another reason why I like being here, is because you have a level of sophistication teaching you at this college that goes beyond. And it's like coaching plus. And I saw that in the meeting yesterday. And I go to a lot of different schools, so I see a lot of things going on. And so they're training you as best they can right now to do these things. And we talked about the influence piece. What is influence, okay? Well, it's real simple. First of all, your influence. And keep this in perspective with all of life, okay? I want to remind you of that. Let's not miss that piece. So the influence is this. It's something, it cannot, look, you cannot be uninfluential. You can't. Your influence is never, ever neutral. Never. It's never neutral. I mean, the way I came in here, the way I talk to people, the way I mingle with you, to get to know you, because I like you. I want to know you, and I want to know what you're doing. And so that piece, and plus everything I'm doing here, my gestures, my body language, the message that you get, my tone, the words that I use, my eye contact with you, trying to be present for you. I mean, it takes work. You know, 7:30 at night. I mean, I'm in bed at 9, you know. It's like I'm going to be past my bedtime when I finish up with you. That's yeah, crazy, right? I mean, but my influence on you comes from all those different items, those different parts and pieces. Your influence is the same. And the difference between someone like myself and many people, not all people, but many people, is that they're not aware of the power of their influence. It is a powerful, powerful modality. The way you sit here in front of me, you are influencing me by the way you're looking at me, your facial expression, what's going on here and how we talk. So your influence is very powerful. But you know what? You're going to light up a room, or you're going to put it into darkness based on what you do with that power. And so if you're on the sideline in a game, or you're on a bench in basketball, or you're not one of the top 6 in tennis, and you're fighting for that 6th position and you don't make it, you're still influential. You still have an influence. And what you do on that sideline has a lot to say about who you are. And when you go downtown on a Saturday night, you still have influence. Do you see where I'm going with that? So no matter what you do, you are influential. Knowing that is key. Knowing that is key. In the game, on the sideline, in your home, when you go back home, in the classroom, sitting here now, we are all influential. So I have a choice. I could come in here and I could sit up here and not talk to you, and I could just sit here and read. I've got a lot of books. I could just read. It's all right. The 3 most important elements in the strategic plan of champions are, can't read that word. I'm influencing you, am I not? Am I influencing you? Right? What does that say? Tell me. I could care less. I just want to get my money and run. You know what I mean? I'm out of here. Take me home. Remember, my goal, my mission is to make a difference. You don't make a difference if you're not aware of influence. If you're influential, where is it going to go? Up, down, sideways, left, right. Okay, that's number 1. That's the first spiritual quality. The second spiritual quality is confidence. Now, I can tell you this with a straight face. You can always be confident. Always. Isn't that nice? I want to be confident all the time. I'm confident right now. Oh, yeah, it's easy for you, Jerry. You know, you've done all this work, and it'd be very easy for me to lose confidence right now. And I have done that particular thing in various situations. The reason why we lose confidence is because of 2 things, basically. One is we don't prepare. Lack of preparation. I'm not prepared. I come in this room, if I'm not prepared, I don't have confidence. The second reason is I'm worried about the outcome. What possible outcome could I be worried about? How I look? How I sound? You know, are you going to like me? Do you like me? You do? Ah, great. Now I'm confident. See? No, I don't need to even know that. It's nice to know, and I really appreciate that. I do. I really do. And I like you too. I do. Oh yeah. So the whole idea is what we're focusing in on. So let me draw it out for you. Okay. So here's when we lose confidence. When you show up in life to win, it's not going to be a pretty sight. I'm not saying we don't want to win. I mean, I visualize winning and I feel winning. But when I show up in life tonight, this is my game right now. This is my game. And maybe Saturday will be a different game. I'll be racing on Saturday, let's say. That's a different game. But they're all games in life. When I show up, what I've got to do is I've got to show up not to win. Because if I show up to win, I'm focusing in on the out. Follow me now, please. This is important. Follow me. I'm talking about showing up to win. That means I'm focusing in on the outcomes and results. Am I right? That's right, huh? To win, outcomes and results. The thing about outcomes and results is they're uncontrollable. Raise your foot if you think it's uncontrollable. You're able to control the outcome. That's why I said foot, because then you can't do it. It's awkward. So, but no, seriously, does anyone think they can control the outcome? I didn't say influence. I said control. Because if you feel you can, you come down and see me after the talk, and I'll guarantee you a $2 million book contract tomorrow. And we'll both write it. And I'll be a co-author. And I'll get the publisher. And you'll be really rich. We cannot control the outcome. We can influence it. If you could, then pick up the phone, coaches, pick up the phone and just tell the people coming this weekend, hey, don't bother. Save money. Don't bus up here. You kidding? We got it. We're winning. It's all done. It's taken care of. Of course not. So what happens is you cannot control them. And what happens when you can't control something? If you're anything like me, what happens is when I can't control something, I get nervous. Like going down a dark alley someplace and I don't know who's going to jump out at me, I get nervous. I get scared. If I go into a final exam and I didn't prepare well and I go in there and I can't control the outcome, I'm really nervous. I'm scared. So what happens is I get tight, tense, and tentative. Think about this. I made it like that so you can remember it. It's easy. Tight, tense, and tentative. Tight, tense, and tentative. Can you repeat that?
Tight, tense, and tentative.
There you go. Can you repeat that?
Tight, tense.
That's what happens to you when you're worried about performing. But you weren't worried. You felt relaxed, calm, and confident. Collected. Right. Right. Collected. I like that too. Calm and collected. Whatever that means, who the heck knows, you know. But anyway, I don't know. Collected what? Collected it. So what happens is, okay, so now you're tight, tense, and tentative. What's going to happen to the performance? Yeah? Well, first of all, you're going to lose confidence, and then the performance will go down. Now let me shift, because this is where it really gets good. We shift over to the other column, which says, what if you showed up to compete? Now we're talking. Because if you show up to compete, you can control that. Say control that. You can control it. See? You could do this for me. You could. You could. You'd be surprised. I know you could. But so you could absolutely control competing. You can, but you got to know what competing is, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you can control competing. So if you can control competing, right? The nice thing about that is you're more relaxed and you're more calm. It's like if you want to play against me in your sport, you should probably be really relaxed. Because I'm not going to give you any challenge whatsoever in your sport, all right? Now, that said, what does that mean? Well, if you're calm, relaxed, you become more confident, and then your performance is reflected by that, all right? So, before we leave this particular segment of the second spiritual essential absolute, let's do this. This is what I want you to do. This is very practical. You take this home to your coaches and your team, and this is what you want to do. I'm going to suggest this. This is what you could do. Let's see. Basketball, where are you? Where are the basketball? The women's basketball, where are you? Oh, stand up. Let's give it up for the women's basketball. Hey, we are... Come on. Yeah, right. You're going to leave me hanging here by myself? So we are Middlebury basketball, right? What I want you to do, and I want every team to do this, but I'm just using them as an example. Thank you, guys, really. I appreciate this. This is wonderful. No, don't sit down yet. I did not say... No. Okay. In fact, it's going to be a while. But anyway, yeah, I just want to give you a little warning. So listen to this. I want you to go back with your coach, and I want you to tell her and your staff that you want to identify your identity as a competitor, a team that competes. And so you get into small circles, 3 at a time, and you come up with 5 to 10 reasons, 10 ways that you can absolutely define yourselves by how you compete. And I'm going to give you a start. For instance, here's an example for the rest of the audience. Now, what you want to do is you want to sprint your lanes. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Good. Nice job. There you go. Okay. Don't you want to box out? Get your body on another body and box out, right? Am I right? I mean, don't you want to die for the 50-50 ball? How about crashing the boards? Should you crash the boards? Yeah. All right. Hey, what about playing nagging, pesty, in-your-face defense? All right. Is that right? You got it. Okay. Now, I'm going to stop there. I don't want to steal the show. I want you to sit down and think about this. We've got to start on their definition of who they are. And then when you come up with a list of 10 ways in which you, as a team, lacrosse, you hear me back there? What 10 things are you going to do in your circle, in your family, and say, this is us. This is how we compete. This is what we do. I did that with Gary Gate, and we did it at the Colorado Mammoth when we won the World Championship, and that's exactly what we did. Everyone on that team knew how to compete and what the mission was. You with me? That's all you got to do. And then you don't have to think about winning. And the coach has got to reward you for competing, because that's what life's all about. There's no guarantee about the outcome. And I can come up with every sport here, I can come up with 10 ways, every sport in this room, on how to compete. And I know you can do it too. That's important. Now, guess what? If you take those ways to compete in the sport, that's 10 ways. And if you add them to the 7 spiritual absolutes, essential absolutes, you're flying. That's amazing. Because if you do both of those, and when we finish the essential absolutes, you'll see what I'm talking about. When you do that, oh my, fill in the blank, whatever it is, when you compete, you're tough to beat. Say that. Everybody. When we compete, we're tough to beat. The power of words, and you're going to see that on the next item. But everyone, knock the roof off. Let me hear it. Come on.
When we compete, we're tough to beat.
Now really mean it. No smiles. I don't want to see smiles. I mean, game face. What is it? When we
compete, we're tough to beat.
Yeah. I like that. Row, row, row your boat. Now row, row. And then over here, right? Okay. You got that? Is that clear? That will change your life. It will. It will change your relationship with your game. Basketball, seriously, I'm not kidding. Let's do it. All right. All right, the next one is this. The next one is the power of, just the power of. That will do it. The power of courage. The power of courage. So, Ray Bradbury, one of my favorite authors, we could hold that one, yeah. I like his way of taking risks. He says, in life we're going to come across situations where we find ourselves standing at the edge of a cliff. And we're standing there, it's like a kid, standing on the edge of a diving board, wondering whether they should jump into the pool or not, right? You've had that experience? I know you have. I have. It's wonderful, isn't it? And then you scream when it's all over, how great it was. Can you hear me up there? Okay. Ray Bradbury said, when you're standing on the edge of the cliff, jump. And build your wings on the way down. Build your wings on the way down. And then you'll fly. What are you waiting for? Jump. Remember that exhilarating feeling as a kid when you jumped off that diving board and how great it felt. Now, I'm not talking about life and death situations here. It's all metaphorical, and you know that. But the thing is that too many times in athletics, what we do is we're waiting. Freshmen are waiting to become juniors, and sophomores are waiting to become seniors, and we're all waiting to jump. And you have to trust that your teammates, your friends, your coaches, people are going to be there to catch you if you need help. That's why we're here. We're all in this together. You will have help. People will come to your rescue. And not only that, but if you have the coaching situation that I imagine you to have, is that when you do fail, you're going to learn from it. And then you go back up on the cliff and try it again. And at some point, you're going to succeed. And by success, I mean the process and how it feels to continue to get knocked down and get back up again. That's success for me. That's what winning is all about. So I'm not afraid to take risks. My life has been strewn with all kinds of risks. Good ones. I mean, good risks. Like, the worst thing that could happen here is I fail. So, and then what? Well, I'll learn from it and then go on. So this is the whole idea between the power of power and power of courage. Courage comes from the French word, by the way, coeur. And all you French mages or non-French mages probably know what it means anyway. It means heart. Here we go. It means heart. French coeur means heart. Okay? All right, the next one is really, really interesting as well. And what we're talking about here is we're talking about the power of thought. The power of thought. So what comes to mind right away for me is a wonderful story of a little Chinese boy with his daddy, with his grandpa actually. And he goes to his grandpa and he's like, "Grandpa," he said, "I'm having a terrible day." He says, "Why is that, son?" And he said, "Well, I have all these thoughts going on in my head, and they're awful thoughts. I never get them like that. That's really terrible." "Oh, that's interesting. Well, let's see what happens here." So the next day, he wakes up and he comes to his grandpa again. He says, "You know, Grandpa, you said to wait and see what happens." And he says, "You're absolutely right, because right now I feel really good." "What's going on?" He says, "I have all these good thoughts that are going on in my head. I really feel good today. I'm having a great day." And he says, "Well," he said, that's pretty interesting." And he says, well, look, wait a minute. Tell me, why is this happening? Why can't I just have good thoughts?" He says, "Well, son, the reason is because all of us, we have two wolves inside. We have these two wolves inside." And he said, "And you know, they fight. They go back and forth." And he says, "Well, Grandpa, who wins?" And he looks at the boy and he says, "Son," he said, "it's the one you feed. It's up to you." So it's the same way in our life. If you feed the bad thoughts, they multiply. If you feed the good thoughts, they multiply. The thing about thoughts, it's really interesting, is notice thoughts. You know, they have an energy all their own. All of a sudden, you're having a good day and something goes on, and you take that one thought and you start running away with it. And before you know it, you're miserable. And you can't stop it. And it's going on like a bad song in your mind. And you get to a place when you don't know what to do about it. You don't understand that you're feeding it. Once you understand it, then you can change it. And the same thing with sport. When people get into a slump, they have bad thoughts all the time. Every time you get up at the plate to hit a ball, you're in a slump. You start thinking about all the times you're missing it. So all your thoughts are negative thoughts. I call it stinking thinking. You know, stinking thinking. It's constant. It never stops. Unless you do something about it. Unless you do something about it. So thoughts have a power, amazing energy. And they'll either strengthen you. Now this is important. I want you to remember this. Your thoughts are going to strengthen you or they're going to weaken you. They're going to do one or the other. And you want them to strengthen you. You know, no matter where you are, again, whether you're on the pitch on the soccer field, whether you're in a baseball stadium, no matter where you are, or again, if you're on your own, you're out of school and you're socializing or something and your thoughts start going crazy, you want to be able to shift. You want to be able to use your mind in a way that's productive. All right? So let me have a volunteer, someone close by. It's easier. Somebody. Yeah. Come on. I chose a volunteer. Imagine choosing a volunteer. Thank you for volunteering. Okay, over here, thank you. Okay, now, I'm going to demonstrate what I just said, because I looked at some of your faces and was like, yeah, sure, right. You know, thoughts will strengthen you or weaken you. Now, the other thing I want to say, and I want you to hear this before you do it, is if your thoughts are contrary to the direction that you want to go, your thoughts will win. All the time. If they go contrary to the direction you want to go. So what you want to do is, the direction you want to go is, I'm going to ask you to put your arm up and hold it up. There we go, like that. Yeah, perfect. And then I'm going to put thoughts into her head, and she's going to say the thoughts. And then the direction, let's see what direction she goes based on the thoughts, basically is what it is. And what I'm going to do is, I'm holding your arm up now, but I'm going to gradually pick up the pressure and push down a bit, gradually. I'm not going to yank it. And you're going to resist it, and then what you're going to do is say these words, and let's see what happens to your arm, okay? So let's just do that. And I won't yank it, I promise. And I'll do it with 2 fingers, or maybe 1. I don't care, it doesn't matter. Let's see. The words are, I can do this, I am strong.
I can do this, I am strong.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, you have to say it over and over. I didn't say you were going to look good doing this, you know. So it's not about looking good. Go ahead.
I can do this, I am strong.
Hold it up now.
I can do this, I am strong. I can do this, I am strong. I can do this, I am strong.
Oh my God. The more I picked up the pressure, the stronger you got. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put your arm down. I was like, yeah, it was really good. Okay. What sport is this?
Field hockey.
Field hockey. Watch out. That's what I'm talking about. You got it. Yeah. Field hockey back here, right? Here we go. Let's hear it for field hockey. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And are you in season?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Now try this. Hopefully this doesn't hurt you. Now you say, I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't do it, I'm a wimp. Don't laugh. Just say it.
I can't do it, I'm a wimp.
Now hold it up.
I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't.
Are you a wimp or something? All right. I can do it, I'm strong. Just to show you that it doesn't matter when you do it, but I can do it, I'm strong. Go ahead.
I can do it, I'm strong. I can do it, I'm strong. I can do it, I'm strong.
Okay. Let's give it up for him. All right. Thank you. Yeah, me, you. I want you. I want you. Look at you. What's your name?
Jack.
Jack? Okay, Jack. What sport?
Swimming.
Swimming. Okay, same thing. Ready, Jack? Stand away. Stand away. There we go. Up. Yeah. He's bracing himself already. He's like, rah! Yeah! Try to move me. Okay, Jack. All right, I can do it, I'm strong.
I can do it, I am strong.
Hold it up.
I can do it, I am strong.
There you go.
I can do it, I am strong.
Good. There you are. That's true. And I should get someone else to do this, because I'm not strong. Okay. I can't do it, I'm weak. I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I like that better. I can't do it, I'm a wimp.
I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't do it, I'm a wimp.
You were easier. Field hockey is much stronger than swimming. That's my conclusion. I've done this study, I'm going to publish it. Field hockey is stronger. Come on, Jack. Let's go. I can do it, I'm strong.
I can do it, I'm
Don't lean against the thing, because that's, you don't look for that. That's, go ahead. I can do it, I'm strong.
I can do it, I'm strong.
Good, Jack, good. Now, I can't do it, I'm a wimp.
I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't do it.
No, you're turning your body. Don't do that. Cheating. Go ahead. I can't do it, I'm a wimp.
I can't do it, I'm a wimp. I can't do it, I'm a wimp.
Thank you. Give it up for Jack. Yeah, Jack. So what happens scientifically, if you want to dive into this, if this is not hocus pocus, it's not some strange thing that people from California do all day. You know, we don't. I'm grounded. I'm from the East Coast, you know. That said, your brain, when you say the words, is sending not thousands, but millions of messages to millions of muscles over and over again what to do. So if I'm running up a hill, okay, remember this. this Saturday, cross country, raise your hand. Where are you? There we are, and here. Okay, Saturday, when you're running up that hill. I ran up that hill this morning. Beautiful hill. I love that hill. Say it. I love that hill. Oh, you bet. And if I did this with you, I love that hill, it would be strong. If you said, I hate that hill, it would go down. Right? So you've got to love the hill. And when you're going up that hill, I want you all to say this to yourselves. You can say it out loud, but your competitors will think you're kind of weird. And although that's okay, because that will distract them, and that's kind of a nice psychological edge. But the thing is, though, it's not good sportsmanship. So say it to yourselves. I can do this, I am strong. I can do this, I am strong. And you go up that hill, you're going to fly up the hill. You're going to fly up the hill. Shoot me off an email and let me know that that's what happened, because I'm going to believe it. It's what's going to happen. So understand that your thoughts are the foundation for where you go. So what I do is I like to train athletes to have affirmations. So even that's an affirmation. I can do this, I'm strong. One of the affirmations I like to have with teams is, regardless of the outcome, we may or may not win, but we're going to fight like the amazing champions that we are. Those words reinforce and stabilize the condition inside when there's self-doubt. Okay? They're words of the heart. You know, we are amazing champions. You know, I compete and I'm hard to beat. So these are the effects of words, and that's the power of thought. Now there's the power of gratefulness. That's the sixth one, I believe. The power of gratefulness is this. I have done, in the last 3 years, a good deal of reading, researching, and looking for the results of people who are successful, particularly athletes. And what I notice, and what I seem to be understanding, is that when you have the element of gratefulness, which is a highly sophisticated spiritual concept, when you have gratefulness for your life, who you are, and what you've been given in life, that your performance tends to go up quite a bit. So I'm going to give you an exercise to do, and then I'm going to invite you to consider doing this as part of your mental spiritual training. And it's called gratefulness training. And so gratefulness is something that will allow you to compete. Listen to this closely now, because this is where it really is important. It allows you, it frees you up, it frees up the nervous system to compete for something bigger than a victory, better than a win, something higher than just a Saturday afternoon triumph. And what I'm talking about is when I work with a team and we have a family, and that's how we are as a family, and we compete and we work together, what we do is we go out on a Saturday afternoon and compete in a way that it doesn't matter. The victory is not, really what it's about. It's about something higher, and it's about the gratefulness that we have, about the love we have for each other, about what we've been given in our lifetime. You see what I'm saying? So like, I don't even know you personally, but I have a sense I do. And I know probably everybody in this room has been given an abundance of amazing things in life, whether it's your health, your friendships, your opportunity to go to a school like God, I'd go here in a heartbeat. If I weren't doing what I'm doing right now, and someone said to me, what else would you like to do? I want to change seats with you. I want to sit there. I want to listen to me. Or someone else like me. and what I want to do is I really want to change. So I am so, and I'm grateful for the fact that you came here to listen to me tonight. And every day I come up with 10, 15 things that I'm grateful for before I get out of bed. And I go about my day and I compete in this life from a place of gratefulness. And when you do, you'll bleed. You'll bleed. You'll do whatever it takes to play your best. Not necessarily to beat anybody, but to play your best, to give your all. It's almost like gratitude is like a giving back. You've given me all this stuff here, now I want to give back to you. You've come here to listen to me, I want to give you my best. I want to give anyone my best like that. I love my kids, I'll fight to the death for them. If you hurt my children, I'll tear your heart out. I'll just tear it out. Right out. Boom. Gone. Done. And I'm anything but a violent person. But I love them so much. That's how far I'll go, because I'm so grateful for what I've been given. So on any given day, we want to think about this. And so this Saturday, field hockey, you playing Saturday? Yeah, right? Saturday is a good day to play, right? You go out there and you play for each other. Let me tell you what you do. You go out and play for each other after we do this exercise, and you let that play on that field be a reflection of everything you've been given. All right? You do that? Seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. So you go out on, we'll do this exercise, then you go out, and on Saturday, you go out there and you see what that feels like to make that play a reflection of everything you've been given. So there's no pain, there's no suffering, it's all giving. And that's the question to ask in the gratefulness exercise is, it's not about what can I get out of this. It's not about what we can get. And a lot of people, not you necessarily, but a lot of us, we're always asking the question, what can I get out of this, you know? Oh, let's see, I'm going to go to Middlebury. What am I going to get out of that? Why should I go to Middlebury? What can I get? As opposed to what can I give? So on Saturday, it's going to be about giving. It's about giving. And when I come into a room like this, it's all about serving you. It's all about being a servant. I'm your servant. So you can call your mom and dad and just say, I had a servant tonight, my own private servant. And see what they say. And it's true. But that's my whole frame of heart. And if you come into that competitive arena, who are you playing this Saturday? Colby. I feel sorry for Colby. I really do. I really do. It's going to be tough for them. You going to play at home? No? I still feel sorry for them. It's going to be a tough day for them. Because what you're going to do is you're going to bring your best, and you're going to compete, and you won't stop. No matter what the score is, you're going to fight to the death, and that's going to be it. Okay, so that's it. Let's do this. I'm going to guide you through this. It's only going to take about 4 minutes, but you're going to have to close your eyes to get rid of all the external distraction. And here's what I want you to do. Yeah, put your feet on the floor. That's really great. And we're not going to meditate at this moment. Well, and we're not going to sleep. Sleep is nice, but this is not a good time to sleep. We have other times to sleep. It's not 9 o'clock yet, is it? No. Okay. Okay, eyes closed. I want you to think. Try to come up with seven items in your life right now that you're very, very grateful for. It could be more, but try to come up with 7 that you're really grateful for. While you're doing this, I want to remind you that this is all of what life has given you. You have been given these gifts. Are you willing to work for them? Are you willing to give back? If you say yes, let's take the next step. Get in touch with the feeling of how it feels to be grateful. Not just the items on your list, but what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be grateful? How fortunate are we? And then what we do is we take that feeling, and here's what I want you to do with it. You're going to take 3 breaths in, real deep, hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, and each time you take the breath in, bring in the feeling of gratefulness and have it surround your heart, in your imagination. 3 times, in deeply. Okay, now, what I want you to do is open your eyes. I want to ask you something. I want you to take that, and I want you to go out for the next day, 2 days, and I want your behaviors, and I want your actions, and I want all that you do and all that you have planned to be a mere reflection of everything that you have been given in this life. Make it count. give back for these 2 days. Can you do that? Will you do that? Huh? Because I would really feel like the world would be a better place. And I'm talking about not only on the field, on the field hockey field. I'm talking about just like this whole weekend. Let's try to take it through the weekend in our activities, no matter what we do. And when you make a decision or you have some kind of a choice, you will make the right choice. You will do the right thing. And you know what the right thing is, and you will do it. And you will do it because you're giving back. That's your way. That's your gift back for everything you have been given. Because we're blessed. We're blessed. Amid all the hardships that we have, we're blessed. Hey, it feels good, doesn't it? Right? I mean, it's real. I mean, it really is true. From my observation is that when I get up in the morning and I don't jump out of bed, but I put that into my nervous system, my wife Jan can definitely tell the difference. Oh yeah, you did that thing today. I know you did. See, she knows. She knows that because I'm coming from a different place. I'm coming from a heart space, not a head space. The head space is fear. The heart space is love. They're polar opposites. Fear is the absence of love. And love is the absence of fear. So I come from that place of gratefulness. When I do, I'm going to give to you. You're my teammates. It's all about giving to you. How can I give to this team? What do I need to do? I'm not even in the game and I'm giving to you. And how can I do that? So we get a team together that's giving to each other. Watch out. That's really amazing. That's really amazing. So then we go from there, and then we go into the next. We have two more now, as I recall. One is integrity. The next spiritual essential absolute is integrity. Now this is a short one, but don't be confused by its brevity. It's short, but it's powerful, and that's the word integrity. Awfully misunderstood. Very often misunderstood. Integrity is really simple. When you think about it, the people that you really admire, the friends that you have, a big part of the reason why you love them is because they have integrity. They say they're going to do one thing, and they do it. And those people that you know who say they're going to do one thing, and they don't do it, you're sort of like, I don't know about that space cadet. I'm not sure, I've got to figure this out because my life depends on people being reliable. I need reliability. If they're not reliable, then what am I going to count on, That's why I love my family so dearly. I love my family. I can count on them. I can count, before I came here tonight, my wife Jan calls me exact time that she knows I can pick up the phone. She's not going to call me now. Well, I have the phone turned off. At least I think I do. But the thing is, she calls me a half hour before, and she said, Jerry, I've been thinking of you, and I just want you to know that it's going to be great. You're going to have a great time tonight. And it was like a message. And it was like, yeah, I can count on that. And that's what's good about it. And you can count on each other. And when you're down in town and you're having a great time, the integrity factor comes up a lot, doesn't it? Right? You say you're going to be a certain way. Are you going to be that way? Or are you going to be led by others? Or are you going to be the leader? Are you going to take the choice, the higher road? Or are you going to choose to give in and cave? So it's up to you. It's your decision. And I'm in those same situations in my life every day. So that's integrity. And then the last one is belief. Belief. And I said before that your opponent's greatest advantage is not what they have. It's, I came up here so you could see me. Is your lack of belief in yourself. Okay? It's your lack of belief in yourself. Couldn't see your faces, so here. Okay, got it. It's dark back there. All right. Okay, so it's your lack of belief in yourself. Now, you want to have belief in yourself? Yeah. The answer is yes. I'm answering it for you. Isn't that nice? You have to think. I'll get the question, I'll give you the answer. Of course you want to have belief in yourself. And you know what? Most of you probably do believe in yourselves. And I'll tell you this, if you're going to do the 7 cardinal, essential absolutes, and you're going to, like I said with the basketball team, you're going to put together how you are going to compete as a unit, as a team, as a family, as a clan, as a tribe, whatever you want to call yourselves. You're together, you're united, you're one, all of that. If you do that, you're difficult to beat. And so what you have to focus in on is your preparation, again, getting back to confidence, and you have to focus in deeply on all the little things. So belief, it reminds me of the story of the bumblebee. Okay? Bumblebee's a fascinating character. It's one of the greatest aviators that ever lived. And the thing about the bumblebee is this. Scientists are perplexed about this creature. And the reason they're perplexed, now let's see if we can internalize this somehow, guys and girls. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, and men and women, and students, and everybody else, coaches and ADs, and husbands and wives, and I want to include everybody. I don't like exclusion. Whoever else exists out here. Look, here's the deal. This is the truth, right? The bumblebee was studied by a group of scientists in France several years ago because they couldn't understand. This thing flies. I mean, I'll tell you about how it flies. It's amazing. They couldn't understand because it was too fat. When you're fat like this, big and round, you don't have the qualities of aviation that are necessary. You need to have aerodynamic qualities. Am I right? You know, am I right? Does that make sense? And it doesn't have that. And it's too heavy. And if it's too heavy, how the heck could it get lift off a branch? And if it can't get lift off the branch because it's too heavy, then what about the wingspan? The wingspan is so small. When you see these big jumbo jets, their wingspan is so big. It's amazing. And so there's no big wingspan. And the wings don't go fast enough. So it's slow. It's fat. It's round. It's ugly. It's this. It's that. It's got nothing. Nada. Nothing at all that says that they should fly. So they gave up. And they just said, you know, it's got something. It flies. I don't know what it is. And what it does have, we don't know. But it does have something inside it. And I know this for certain. The bee isn't sitting at home saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not fast enough. I never could do that. No, the bee doesn't listen. The bee just does it. Not only does he does it, oh my. You know, the bee lives a total of 7 weeks in its lifetime. That's not a long time. And in that 7 weeks, it travels 37,400 miles. You want to get your head around that number? Let me break it down. How about 763 miles a day? Every day of its life, it goes 763 miles, Bob. Missy, how far is 763 miles from Middlebury going south? Where do we wind up? Baltimore? Virginia! Virginia!
Driven it.
Huh?
Driven it.
You've driven it. So check this out. The bee goes from Middlebury to Virginia every day. I can't even drive that far. I don't know about you, but I get in a car and go 763 miles and turn around and do it every day, and do it every day of my life for 7 weeks. That's a heck of a lot of driving, to say nothing about flying, when people are telling you you can't fly. Do you believe in yourself? Do you have something inside? You know, I have a bunch of seeds in my bag. You want a seed? I think I do. This isn't funny. This is real. Let's see. Here they are. Be careful. This isn't what you think it is. I know what you're thinking. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm pretty straight. Are they seeds or what? Take one. Here, take one. You took 2. What's with her? What's with her? Take 2. Take 1. I take 2. Look at, see, these are seeds. I'm not joking. Watch out. All right, so check it out. These seeds, it's the start of a rose. There's a rose inside that. There's a rose inside those seeds. So what you got to do is you got to plant it. Am I right? All right, so you have this little seed. It's a rose. Look at that. Can you see the rose in there? Of course you can. There's no way. So what you do is you plant it. You put it in the dirt, and you put it in hopefully good soil, and then you put a little water on it, and you baby it, and then all of a sudden what happens is someday in the future a little pop. Pop. Now, you're not going to go over. I hope you don't do this. If so, you're not ready for parenthood yet. And you probably aren't, but you shouldn't be. But here's the deal. You don't go over and go, ah, that's terrible. That's bad stuff. And I planted a rose. Look what came out there. You know? Or even worse is, oh, God, come on, hurry up. Look what time it is. This rose, here, I'm going to pull it up. Let's see, make it grow faster. You don't do that. You water it, you nurture it, you tell it good things, right? You put that water on it, you make sure it gets enough sunlight. And then you put some plant food around it, don't you? Make sure it can eat. You know? This is what you do, and this is what you do to yourself. But you believe that that little seed is a rose because you put it in the ground and you saw that it didn't even look or smell or imitate a rose in any way. Well, why the heck don't you do it with yourself? Isn't it time? Isn't it time that you did that to yourself? Nurture yourself, nurture each other, give yourself some love, tell yourself that you're good, tell yourself that I'm going to work hard and I'm going to be who I want to be and I'm going to do it well, and sprout and come alive. So all of these things, you see, are all related. So when I look at all the 7 essential absolutes, they're all connected. They're all interconnected because the belief is interconnected with the influence piece, and the influence piece is connected with the courage piece, and the courage piece with the thought piece. So they're all interconnected, and I will guarantee you something. I will guarantee that if you take advantage of that, and you can practice these things, and you can look at that, and then you can also get together as a team. So I'm all giving you all this teamwork. Bring it back to your team and give it a shot. You know, I've been with 45 teams that have been to a Final Four in my last 22 years. I've been working for 45. 45 of them, and I've been with 27 national championship teams, and every one of them have gotten the point about how to compete. And all we do is we go out and compete. Am I right, Bob? I've been with Bob Hansen for 23 years, the longest coach I've ever worked with. And I'll tell you, I'm here to say that all of those championships were the result of his team being able to compete. There were times when he didn't even have the talent. Maybe the talent was number, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but maybe 4 or 5 in the nation. You win a national championship because they competed. They fought. They had all the spiritual qualities that I'm talking about. And he knows that, and I know that, and now you know it. So what are we waiting for? So when we pull this together, this is what shows up.